Alright, let's do this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Dish Super Farmer Cigar Porch Talks. How's everyone doing today? I am doing great. We're in the midst of a poor air quality day. It's hot outside. People are burning stuff. They're mowing their grass. But I gotta get a video out. I debated shooting in the garage, but I decided, nah, let's just shoot it outside. Shoot it in the great outdoors. Even if you can even see if I tilt the camera up here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very, very hazy outside. That's okay though. I'm gonna smoke my cigar, shoot my video, go inside, enjoy some air conditioning after this. But for now, let's get into it. What are we smoking? What are we drinking for the cigar tonight? From Punch, we have Dad's Home Movies. Yeah, it is a fun cigar. Actually, comes in VHS cases. I'm really surprised. Box press cigar, Maduro wrapper. Very, very easy draw. And yeah, I'm actually thoroughly enjoying it. For the drink tonight, we have the Odd Side. Watermelon, goose, and lime. Wheat ale with some sea salt, watermelon, cardium, and lime. Interesting. If you haven't seen it before, one of the other traditions I have, every now and then, I don't do it always, throw some cherries in the bottom of your glass. That way, whatever you drink throughout the night, the cherries kind of soak it up. And then the last drink of the night, the last thing you do is eat the cherries, and hypothetically it has all the flavors. I kind of decided to go with this drink because I didn't think I really mind too much, having a little bit of cherry mixed in with that. Not much. There's a picture of the ale. It really doesn't have much flavor to it. Okay, that's interesting. I like that. You can taste the salt, you can taste the cardamom. Watermelon's very light, lime's coming through pretty heavy. And just a touch of cherry, which I kind of figured was going to happen when you mix those cherries in. So, anyway, tonight's topic, I decided to go back to some war stories. I'm pretty sure I didn't share this one. If I did, let me know. Sorry for doubling up on it. But yeah, it kind of came up in conversation about the effects of adrenaline on different people. So anyhow, we were, as many of you know, I did train students. I was a field trainer. So I was the person on the rig helping them through clinicals, helping them to pass all their sign-offs and check-offs and stuff they're supposed to see. So anyhow, I get called, or I get check in, get told I'm having a student today. Not a big deal. Introduce myself, talk to the kid. And he says that he's new to EMS. He's getting his EMT. He had worked about 2 shifts and had 0 calls. Okay, cool. I was known for getting bizarre calls, so I kind of warned him of that this might be a little more different than your typical shift. We all kind of laugh out of it, and we sent him out and go check off the rig. He was on for 24 hours. The first 12 hours, nothing happened. Absolutely nothing. No calls went out. I think maybe we did some food runs. We had one get canceled, if I remember correctly, but nothing was happening. This kid was proven to be the white cloud. And in case you don't know, the white cloud, those are people who they can have 2 weeks of shifts and maybe run 2 calls. Where the black clouds, like I am, I usually walk in the door and stuff just kicks off. And I get bizarre calls, I get weird calls. Again, I've been in multiple ambulance accidents, delivered babies. So yeah, I usually get all the interesting cases. So anyway, they first 12 hours, like I said, his white cloud's winning. Well, we switch over to night shift, and tones drop. MVA, motor vehicle accident, and it's actually a MCI, multiple casualty incident. So we have reports of multiple people down. I think it was 3 vehicles, 2 or 3 vehicles. It was definitely 2 with multiple injured. So anyway, I grab Mr. White Cloud. He's sitting in the back, the captain's chair in the back. I'm just telling my usual speech when it comes to having students on an MCI. You stick with me. I don't care what anyone else tells you to do. You stay with me. I don't want you running off doing your own thing. Even if the captain comes down and tells you to do something with the fire department, you don't do it. I don't care if the director of EMS comes in. I don't care if the medical director comes on scene and tells you to do something. You stay with me. That was a hard-earned lesson that I got from a previous call where a student was told to do something. He wasn't prepared to do it. He shouldn't have been doing it. I got in trouble justifiably. Like, the student didn't know what he was doing. He got in trouble. Luckily, no one was injured. No one was hurt. But yeah, my new, what I now do is that student is glued to me like super glue. The student said, okay, got it. So I'm still up in the shotgun chair, talking on the radio, trying to get an update and report. The officer gets on scene. And it's an officer who's been around for many, many years. He's seen a lot. You can hear his voice. He's hollering, which I knew was a bad sign. He's hollering expedite, which means this is a bad one. And we need to step it up. So I look at my partner. I was like, uh-oh, here we go. Good old White Cloud over here. Looks like my black cloud's waiting. My partner just laughs. Then all of a sudden the officer calls us directly and he says, just so you know, we've got a PED here. We might be starting CPR soon. Oh hell. Alright, so I jump in the back, my adrenaline level's spiking. I yell at the kid, our student. I was like, hold on, get ready. I start prepping for a pediatric transport. That was one of my specialties. Hanging the special bags, getting the micro drip tubing going, get the special IV chambers. We're getting the BVMs ready, the intubation gear, IO drills, pre-draw some medications, get that all set up. Because I know the second I touch down, they're going to throw me the PED. And I'm drilling our students. We still had about 5-6 minutes before we got to the scene. It was a rural crash scene. So I'm just drilling this kid on pediatric. What do you know? Yelling at him. Tell me what this. Tell me the pediatric triad. Tell me the inverted triangle of pediatric resuscitation. Tell me figuring out standard blood pressure and pulse on a PD. Found the Braslow tape. Found the crash cards. We were ready to go. So all of a sudden, I look out the front windows. My partner says, "Here we go." And it was a T-bone incident with a rollover. Just people are running around. The local fire department had actually already beat us there. We, of course, had additional units already rolling on scene. And luckily, the area this happened, they had a really good volunteer corps. So they were actually able to take over incident command. Cool. That left me to treat patients. So we get out. The IC of the scene, do not pass go, do not collect $200. He wants me at the pediatric patient. And I yelled at the student, "Come on, let's go, get out of here." And he looks at me, just shakes his head. I need a minute. And I'm yelling at him, like, "You get out of this damn ambulance or I'll flunk you right now out of the program. You haven't understand." I was yelling at them, wasn't moving. I don't have time for this. Ran up. We had 2 priority 1 critical patients. I didn't just grab the PED and go. I went in and stabilized the PED, stabilized the other critical patient. The other ones were all yellows and a couple of greens. Thankfully for modern safety equipment, most people are going to do all right. But anyway, as we're getting everything set up, buttoning up our 2 critical patients, thankfully another ambulance pulls up in time. I just yell, "I'm taking the PED." This was not up for discussion. The IC didn't even know, and no one was going to argue with me. I had a lot of pediatric experience and a lot of pediatric certifications. The kid was messed up. The officer was a little bit off. The kid wasn't going to code just yet, but it was in the realm of possibilities. So anyway, get the pediatric patient in, and all of a sudden, my student, well, not name, we'll just call him Frozen Freddy. He's not actually his real name, the kid who froze up, he's all of a sudden getting into it. Like he is, help me hold direct pressure. We're prepping IV lines. We're getting ready to drop a tube on this kid. We're hooking him to monitors. We're rolling, of course, right away. We're rolling down the road. I just my nature. I'm quizzing the whole time, quizzing the student. What about this? What about this? He's nailing the questions left, right, and backwards. We did some overpower bagging to take care of the kid's respiratory rate, and the student did a great job. Was able to override the pediatrics respiratory rate, take command of it. Great bagging job. Freed me up to continue doing some wound care, doing some splinting, getting an additional IV in. So I was kind of surprised that the kid froze. Like, all right, what's going on here? Like, he has the skills, he has the ability. Why'd he freeze? In my opinion, freeze-ups are the worst. Those are students that I will try to bounce. Because we don't need you to freeze up. We need you to jump in. We need you to be the one who is excited for these critical calls, the one who is almost asking for them. So, I wasn't sure if I was going to bounce them 100% yet out of the program, but I definitely was drafting a letter. I told the students, like, look, I don't want to talk to you right now. We offloaded at the ER, or once we got to the ER, I told him, I don't want to talk to you. I'm going to go give a report. You need to go on the rig and think about what you did and what happened, why you froze up. And he tried to say something. I just was not having it. My medic behavior kicked in. I just kind of put my hand in his face and just told him, ambulance now. So anyway, I bring the pediatric patient into the ER. As a team, we kind of do a handoff. My partner was kind of in the way. He took the stretcher back to the rig. I was giving nurses report, asked by the doc to hang around just so I can give them an overview. It's not uncommon with peds patients that want an overview of all treatments, so you show them each treatment, explain what you did and how it went. This doc was really big, and I knew to expect this. And again, he called it a ped overview. He wanted to know everything, like how the IV start went, what gauge did I use, how many attempts, how long did it take. It was nothing personal. I mean, well, maybe it was, maybe he just did it to me, but it just seemed like a very thorough way to get a report. I then grabbed meds, I grabbed new supplies from the supply closet, and I also then was a little amped up on adrenaline, kind of pissed at the student. So I took a second to start my electronic report and kind of quizzed the nurses, see if they had ever had any run-ins with the student, what they thought of him. They said that he's always been the white cloud. Like, they have no, like, most have just been flu-type patients, very low acuity patients. So they had no advice, no insight. Great. So anyway, it's time for the long, awkward drive back to the station. The student wants to talk about it. I don't want to hear it. We got to the gas station. I got myself my usual pop, my code cookies, and my Dead Man cigar. Find the links for those videos. We talked about that tradition whenever I had a critical call. Sit in silence. Get back to the station. It's late. I think it's got to be pushing 1 o'clock in the morning, but no. We're dealing with this tonight. We all sit down, me, my partner, the student, and I want to say one of the other training officers also sat in. He was kind of more involved in the actual class portion. I just did the field work for this one. And we asked him, what's going on? He hummed and he hawed and he kind of went back and forth, and you could tell he was nervous. And I was like, look, I need an explanation, or else I'm recommending to your instructor that he bounces you because you're not ready, you're not prepared. I think you need to re-go through the program maybe. Finally, my partner slugs and kind of slaps the student in the arm and just tell him. So I'm waiting. I'm curious what there is to tell me. And the student finally just lets it all out. Turns out this kid grew up extremely sheltered. He could not watch scary movies. They didn't celebrate Halloween. He didn't go to parks. He didn't go to like down slides. He went down like 2 slides in his life. His parents thought that that was just a crazy thing to do. Needless to say, this kid has never experienced adrenaline or an adrenaline rush. I mean, the closest he got is he actually secretly liked watching stuff, different EMS shows or fire shows on TV. Like Bringing Out the Dead. He had watched Rescue Me. He had watched, I think he had watched, what is that? Station 51, the LRT, the little red truck. Emergency, that's the one, Emergency. He'd watched that. So that's why he got into EMS. He felt that this was a calling to him. This is something he should do. And he knew that he wanted to face adrenaline. He wanted to live life. And he figured going 90 miles per hour down the road was the way to do it. Plus, he was very smart. The kid knew medicine. I cannot fault him for his knowledge. I can fault him for his inaction. So I said, okay, I get that. You've never really experienced adrenaline. Like, what happened? Did you pass out? Did you, like, black out? And he shook his head. He said, no, I was ready. Okay, cool. And my partner starts chuckling. He's like, just tell him. Like, tell me what? He's like, I was, okay. That huge adrenaline rush, I got a mad erection. Like, what? Like, yeah, I got, and my partner just lets it out. He's like, yep, he got an adrenaline boner. I was like, no. Yep, he had gotten such an adrenaline dump that he pitched a tent, and he didn't want to stand up and run into an emergency scene with a pitched tent. I just died laughing. I don't. There's nothing else you can do. The other training officer just starts laughing. He can't stop himself. So I tell the kid, I said, all right, tell you what, I'm not going to bounce you yet. But the spring break's coming up, or I think it's winter break. Winter break's coming up. I was like, you need to go do some extreme sports. You need to go do something crazy, something stupid. Downhill skiing, we'll go fight a bull, punch an angry dog, something. Because you need to get used to that adrenaline rush. Because when it hits, and if you're the primary, like, that's it. You cannot freeze up. That cannot happen when you're in the rig. And, unfortunately, either that or you just got to learn to run around with a bulge in your pants, kind of awkwardly. So the kid thanked me for not bouncing him. He did actually on winter break and spring break, went and did a bunch of extreme sports, extreme activities, skydive, the whole 9 yards. So he could kind of get accustomed to what an adrenaline rush would feel like. He did eventually pass EMT. He went on to medic, did not stay in the area. I did have him on subsequent shitty calls, and he did fine. He did not freeze up. And if he did have a problem, I wasn't checking to see if there was an issue there. I did hear a rumor that actually he went on to go get a doctor, became the ER doc. So good on you. Yeah, it's something, again, I dealt with a lot of adrenaline before I had joined EMS. I have heard of it happening to other people where they get the adrenaline boner. And yeah, it happens. I'd never seen it before, never experienced it like this kid did, but there it was. So yeah, the funny stuff you see on the rig when training students, you kind of forget that not everyone lived extreme lives, and yeah. So anyway, folks, hopefully you don't, if you're on the rig, you don't have a problem with that. If you do, hey, share the story. Let us all get a good laugh at it. Anyway, I'm going to go finish my cigar, drink some beer, maybe jump in the garage and watch something on the television or something to get out of this thick air, because it is thick today. Anyway, folks, stay safe out there. We'll see you on the next one.